Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
This morning we'll pray from Psalms 122. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, that they shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within thy palaces. For my brethren and companions' sake, I will now say, peace be within thee. Because of the house of the Lord, our God, I will seek thy good. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Sorry about not turning up last night, but the show goes on. Yesterday, we had the chance to meet the gorgeous Debbie Jervis and her daughter. We did a bit of walk around in central London, and be sure we're going to meet up soon again for more walk around of some of London historic areas and community. It was really good meeting both of you, Debbie Jervis. Thank you all very much. Globalist morning and welcome. We're still on the state visit of the president of Ghana in Jamaica, which the amount that is going in our country ought to be an embarrassing time for the prime minister and his cabinet. I was wondering yesterday when President Mahama made his speech in our parliament addressing both houses of parliament, if he found anything strange that the husband controls the executive and the wife controls the legislature. I wonder if, in the speaking of democracy, sovereignty, and all of that, he realizes that there's a shortage of democratic values and ideals in our country when it comes to the Andrew Holness regime. And of course, we'll be going to Bruce Golding's argument on the US-Jamaica relationship, something he said that Andrew Holness, possibly, and other prime ministers would want to say, but haven't got the courage or the guts to say it. There isn't any more Fidel Castro, Michael Manley, Hugo Chavez, and Che Guevara. There's no more of those people. What we have are scratch butties, lick boots, pickpockets, and damn right bend over politicians. That's what our modern world have to contend with. Nobody has a belly anymore, or nobody has a backbone anymore. It's just a soft underbelly that regularly gets scratched by threats or promises from the Americans. The havoc of the Donald Trump regime. So we're going back at things that we really should be highlighting and looking at given the state visit, because President Mahama is been taken to the High Court of ECOWAS because of his pending involvement in the human trafficking deal with the United Snakes of America, which they call TCN deportees, but it is modern day slavery and human trafficking. How ironic, one would argue, that in the midst of being told you must involve in the transatlantic human trafficking of America, the Caribbean and Africa is also calling for reparations. What such dichotomy? Anyways, how do the globalists? Morning and welcome. Share the live for us, please, will you? Lynette Jenkins, Miss Jam Upton, good morning. Good morning. Karen Namard, good morning. Miranda Raddock. Ladybug, Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning and welcome. Sheena Kelly, good morning. Michelle Clark. Karine, good morning. Marcia Biro from the Cockpit Country. Good morning, Suzette Williams. Ainsworth Williams, good morning. Jamrock 8766, good morning. Karen Wagwan. Empress Deb, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Like and share the live for us, please. We're going to go off to the Prime Minister first. And I would like to say to the Prime Minister, we don't think you're doing a good job. We don't think that media optics, Prime Minister, make one job looks good or look done. Rather than preparing things for the opticization of your politics, maybe if you just get on with it, because nothing cannot happen under this government until the government get his photo ops. We, the people of Jamaica, are going to continue to suffer while the government prepare for its photo op, because it's not about helping the people of Jamaica, you know. It's about the Prime Minister's photo op. That which makes the Prime Minister looks darn well good for a general election campaign. Can this Prime Minister, can this government do something out of taxpayers' money or out of donors' money for the people of Jamaica where he does not have to embarrass them on camera? Prime Minister, can this Prime Minister cater to the needs of the people of Jamaica without showing to the world that this person receives help from the government? It does make you look good, Andrew Holness. I know it works for your political optics. Doesn't make you look good. Doesn't make the country of Jamaica look good. When every little bibs and babs about poor people, and we say we care about poor people, bros. But why is it that the government regularly has to push up a camera in a poor people face to get little help out of what donors donated for us to get help out of, or out of our hard-earned tax dollars? This is what vloggers and charity-based people do, Prime Minister, to show transparency. There are other ways, Andrew Holness, where your government can be transparent rather than pushing up a camera in a poor people face and make everybody see we pan road, pine pan, we say, you know, say, I want container the one they live in. You know what to say? The Prime Minister give him a container. You know how long in the have under the tarpaulin and on top of the piece of cardboard until the Prime Minister give him. Them a dirty PNP, they not deserve it. Well, labor right, we want forget it. Huh? Violet Watson, Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson. Oh no, do. Can this Prime Minister Stop embarrassing the people of Jamaica. Stop take with dirty linen, Andrew Holness, and show to the entire world. Governments around the world help people, Prime Minister. It's not just an Andrew Holness thing. It's not just a Jamaica thing. Helping the less fortunate is not unique to Jamaica. In fact, one would argue, is that help? Is that real help? Or help come in delayed? Under the Jamaica government alone assists their population. Andrew Holness don't need for everything embarrass Jamaicans and put them on camera.
So this is basically a one-bedroom solution, or maybe a studio if you want to call it that. But we couldn't just come and give you the container by itself. We had to make the provisions. And one of the things that we are committed to doing is to ensure that the disposal of sewage is properly done. So this will be connected into the cisterns that are here. You will have both wastewater from the bathroom and the kitchen, and it will go into a septic tank, which will also be provided. So it's not just the cost of the container, it's the septic tank, it's the plumbing that's necessary, it's the foundation on which it is anchored, it's the connection for electricity and the
all this to justify the money where your thief, the money where you rob up, the money where last cut chin a benefit more outer than the Melissa victim. And rather than you go put mic and camera in a last cut chin face, I feel we face your car coming out like you're giving any real justification, or like this is anything of accountability and transparency. Left that to Gina Enkles. Gina Enkles and Dana go them we to use mic and camera as accountability. We have systems in a government where you can provide, because the Auditor General can't use your picture of them and can't use your post them to verify anything. You don't have to keep embarrassing us all the time. And you make your prayer when you get up a morning time.
Provision of a water tank. And so all of those are very, very costly. You could be looking at anywhere from 300,000 to 600,000. Some might even be more, up to $1 million. So even though we consider this to be a temporary solution, we still have to do it the right and proper way.
As if he's doing anything remarkable or anything special. Prime Minister, anything you assisted Jamaicans in its bare minimum standards. Prime Minister, in some cases, you're even operating below bare minimum. In some cases, Andrew Holness, you are operating below the bare minimum. Mic and camera is not accountability. This not provide with no proof of how the money is spent. Because if I out of your mouth, Andrew Holness, we're going to get accountability. Remember, you're the Prime Minister that took charity money and go buy bonds, You're the Prime Minister who took charity money to buy bonds. So how could we trust anything that come out of your mouth when it comes to accountability about money has been spent, Andrew Holness? I mean, you who have not had your statutory declaration certified, you who is under investigation for illicit enrichment, dirty criminally aligned money, Prime Minister, and you think you come on mic and camera and give what amount accountability over with money where concerned Jamaicans and well-wishers of Jamaica in the diaspora and at home donated generously. And right now, last coaching benefit more than Melissa victims. And that you fi carry in front of camera. And that you fi carry in front of camera, the benefit of Lasco out of support Jamaica fund.
When we received donations from overseas, we took a decision quite early that we would not give out the donations in grants. When we received donations from overseas, we took a decision quite early that we would not give out the donations in grants. We would use the donations for tangible things. Things like these. So the installation of this walkway, the building of the platforms, the sewer that is going to go at the back, the rails to make this functional.
And are you saying, Prime Minister, over $1 billion in donation? And that's all. Huh? Just few contain the platform bed or whatever. Or few retrofitting for container house. And that will over $1 billion. But then again, if it is that we spend $1.4 billion on 110 old buses, I mean, we'll do any fuckery past that. We, as gone to the Minister of Transport and the government, they bought some old buses from America. Things we were told you could get $1 per one because they're on the scrap heap. But Minister Vaz told us 1.4 billion Jamaica dollars. We don't even get the whole of them yet. We pay for the goods and we don't get it. So Mr. Vaz is in the business of buying puss in a bag because Mr. Vaz told us there were new buses. Maybe they put the puss in a bag and tell Mr. Vaz it was a living puss. By the time Mr. Vaz get home and open the bag, it was a dead puss in the bag. Same thing happened with the old bus them. We were told that it's new bus, but when it turn up and we I see it, when it shake out of the bag, we see so old bus, $1.4 billion. So maybe, like how the government love spend $1.4 billion on fuckery. This is another $1.4 billion that will go like a butter against sundown, and either we get all things or no things at all out of it. Old thief. Prime Minister, you're a crook.
When we received donations from overseas, we took a decision quite early that we would not give out the donations in grants. We would use the donations for tangible things. Things like these. So the installation of this walkway, the building of the platforms, the sewer that is going to go at the back, the rails to make this functional. A part of this is funded by the contributions that came in from our diaspora and others. We have about 2,000 of these containers that we are going to deploy. To do this, the platform, the sewage, the water, and the other things that we have to put in place in order to secure this. You're looking at anywhere between $300,000 to $600,000. Some estimates put it at even more, depending on the structures that we're going to.
You remember in the first video we play, him run it up to $1 million because to say the Prime Minister never remember the kickback money them. The Prime Minister never remember say when you price things in a public, You have to price it for the kickback price. If we say it's $1 million, you know, say 400,000 and 600,000 I go up and kickback. No, sir?
Put in place if we're going to double up the containers and so forth. So, I mean, it's one thing for us to buy the containers. There are also costs that are involved in building the platform to actually install it. Not to mention the logistics to place these on a flatbed container, to take them from Kingston, to carry them to the location, in addition to the crane. Those of you who saw it being installed, you would see that a crane had to lift it and put it in place, and then you had to weld it in place. It's a lot of work, and there are a lot of other associated costs. But if I were a contributor,
Gloria Morris, morning and welcome. Vitality and Motion, morning.
On a donor, I would be very pleased to see that this is what the funding that I gave is actually doing. Something tangible, something that you can see, and something that someone can say, I benefited, thank you. So tell the people again.
I want to say thank you to our Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness.
And the people who donated.
Me just there go tackle you, lady. Him correct you, but me just there go tackle you. We no stop walk and thank Andrew for nothing at all. We no nasty people in Jamaica. Well, when people with them hard earn money assist uno, we no stop thank nasty Andrew and nasty Andre. Stop thank Andrew and Andre, because Andrew and Andre now put their hand in them pocket for no now. No. Every time the hardworking people them in the diaspora help uno, and the junker them uno turn around and get thanks to. Uno is as grateful as them. They are facilitators. They're not actual givers or donors. So stop thank them like I say them I do nothing. Andrew never even pull no string for no. Andrew pull string for him friend them who we are being told benefited millions out of the donation where Jamaicans still under tarpaulin or Lynette Jenkins while the tarpaulinization of Jamaica.
Who donated towards my father.
Abena.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And thank you, sir, once more.
Yes. I'm fighting back the tears.
This is not care. This is optics 2.0. This is Andrew Holness fixing up himself for a fourth term. This is Andrew Holness seeking his campaign narratives. Andrew Holness must stop. Andrew Holness cannot continue to go up on mic and camera embarrassing Jamaicans for his political gain. Governments around the world help people. Governments around the world help people. Can you help us to find some videos of other prime ministers in Africa, the Caribbean, or in the middle countries, in the Middle East, the middle economies of this world? Can you find us a video or some videos where a politician is taking the glory out of your hard-working donation money and gift money? Andrew Holness must stop this fuckery. It's becoming irritating. Jamaicans cannot get help if the Prime Minister now gets him camera optics out of it. It is fucking annoying. Me don't know who annoying too. Me don't know who it is annoying to, but I find it very annoying, very low class prime minister, very petty, very common to see a prime minister who should find something to do with the waste of time that he had, because you know how nothing useful to do with your time in the Holness. Because I swear to God, anyhow you didn't have something useful to do with your time, you wouldn't travel the fucking country. The country just to get a camera optics to hear the word, "Thank you, Prime Minister." Hmm? I am fed up of the nonsense. And you, the Jamaica people, you the rice and chicken back, 2 piece and a drinks and coke, and a chips and coke. You the rum and boom lot. You the $5,000 lot. You the one t-shirt lot, green or orange, and stop the fuckery in our country. Stop make Andrew Holness use publicize and allow the world to point pound Prime Minister. There's no dignity here, Andrew Holness. When dealing with vulnerable people, when dealing with Jamaicans who met up on hard time, there's no dignity. The whole world have to hear your shoddy story. The whole world have to hear about your poor relief disadvantages. And then Andrew gets the glory to post on his Facebook page, to post on his Instagram page, to put it on for use when election are come again. You can't continue to embarrass the nation like that. Not even if it was out of your pocket, Prime Minister. It don't look good. Leave them something to Danagawa and Andre Stevens. We walk and beg the people them money and don't know how to show accountability on paper, so they have to show it on camera. This is hugely embarrassing. Every time the Prime Minister embarrasses poor people in Jamaica, I feel worse or embarrassed. But the man been telling you, you see, if people would not struggle, so if una say foreigner, because hold on this man. If una say foreigner, did listen to the man, I listen to what a lot of us are say, and give to the people on the ground. Give to the local communities so people can get genuine help. We could have helped to build back a lot of people's houses. We could have helped to re-roof a lot of people's houses if we go direct to the people with our support. But now we have given it to Andrew Holness. We don't know how much Amber Group benefited. Lasco benefited in millions. The kickbackers, the kickbackers will benefit in millions as well. But the Jamaica people are being hung out to dry. Hung out to dry. Pan something that belong to Andrew Holness. But Andrew Holness alone fault, And the whole of our fault. Because when you choose to keep going on camera with Andrew Holness, let Andrew Holness tell you, you can't get the support if you don't come on camera. We need for Jamaica, we're going to need to suffer with pride, We can't just bend over just like that for everything. Sometimes, look at the people of Cuba. They've been suffering with pride for almost 7 decades. You see, separation kill them? Separation not kill them. It makes them stronger than we are. We're poodles and chihuahuas in the grand scheme of revolutionary and the reparatory justice argument. We're poodles. We're some little yapping chihuahuas. Just bark until somebody stamp their feet at us. Sometimes we suffer with pride. Because when you suffer with pride, you may can see something beautiful ahead of you. But as for now, we just see the ambulance ahead of us, the sirens rather, wah, 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 wah. And this is why America held us by the balls, not just us, but the world by the balls. And we'll turn our attention now to Mr. Golden. We'll turn our attention to Mr. Golden on the US-Jamaica relationship and how much Andrew Holness has been called.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, when he visited Jamaica in March.
Hold on. How Andrew Holness is literally being cornered because it's not that Andrew Holness necessarily agree to surrender to Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. In the grand diplomatic scheme of things, he has no choice. What he could have done, though, is played safer for the people of Jamaica.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, when he visited Jamaica in March of last year, is only the latest highly placed American official who has boasted of the strong, long-standing bond of friendship between Jamaica and the United States. But let us be very clear. What is being done to us is not friendship. Imposing arbitrary tariffs on us when we are struggling to make our goods competitive in a difficult market is not friendship. Dictating to us who we must do business with is not friendship. Forcing us to accept foreign deportees when we are struggling to look after our own people, that is not friendship. True friends don't abuse your friendship. They don't make unreasonable demands of you. They should be there to help you out. Holding a gun to your head and insisting that you must be reasonable and do things their way, that is not friendship. The United States has put us under severe stress. That's not what friends are for. There are many at home and abroad who are outraged at what is taking place, who are incensed at the bullying that is being meted out to us.
The United States are friends. They have interests, argument, fun. They don't operate based on friendship, they operate based on their own interests. So let's stop going about the place talking about the United States are friends. They look out for their own interest. And when our leaders meet with them and the others, they must be looking out for our interest. They must be looking friendship.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Now, we're going to continue on this, but Donald Tapia had an interview with Cliff Hughes, which we will go to shortly. Donald Tapia is saying it's lies and rumors why Darrell Vaz lost his visa in 2019. I wonder if Donald Tapia could tell us what those lies and rumors are. We will be coming to the Tapier's interview, but let's do a further follow-up on the golden argument. The useless PNP them. The useless PNP them, we should not do everything to embarrass Andrew Holness government at the moment. See, when Andrew Holness, in an independent week, 10 months after Melissa, almost 11 months after Melissa, at that time, Andrew Holness, a Runga Westmoreland, go put on one container house out of the about 50 when promised for Westmoreland. Never mind the holy point promise for St. Elizabeth, that will never come to tuition. The PNP should be doing everything at the moment to embarrass Andrew Holness government, who is on the international stage at the moment with a high-profile state visit from Ghana. And the PNP them look like some little batty wall, literally. Just that if it fart as and when it's necessary.
Prime Minister Bruce Golding is urging Jamaica to defend its sovereignty amid what he views as growing pressure from the United States. Mr. Golding addressed...
Let me say to Mr. Golding, in defending Jamaican sovereignty, Mr. Golding, it ought to be done with leadership. We don't have leaders. We don't have a leader at the moment. There was two leaders that Jamaica had identifiably in politics, was Marcus Garvey and Michael Manley, who uses the Garvey's party policy to advance himself in the social democratic spheres. So we cannot defend sovereignty when we don't have a leader. Whoa, Andrew Mac come round to the truth now. You don't see it long time, Andrew Mac. Stop play hypocrisy. You don't see. You don't like when me talk the truth. You don't see it long time. Say PNP lack communication and PNP lack political strategy. And not just this man in your seat. You don't see it for the last 3 years. Stop play hypocrisy. Anyway, let's get back to Bruce Golding. If we are to defend our sovereignty, Mr. Golding, strong leadership, honest leadership, leadership with a people-centered and people-focused leadership, not the ambulance leadership. The one, the one power, one status, and one money, like Andrew Holness. That is the leadership that got us to where we are. And that's why I say I prefer to have a relationship with the Chinese than the Americans. The Americans put too much demands on you. The Americans, you can't breathe until you ask them, is it the right time for me to inhale?
Prime Minister Bruce Golding is urging Jamaica to defend its sovereignty amid what he views as growing pressure from the United States. Mr. Golding addressed the situation as he met with members of the Jamaican diaspora in the USA. Yannick Williams reports.
Putting America first should not mean putting Jamaica in jeopardy.
Those were the words of former Prime Minister Bruce Golding as he addressed
the person who aided and abetted a crime, Andrew Mac, is us to be blamed as the one who commits the crime. The PNP silence, let me put it clearly, the People's National Party's silence aided and abetted the corruption of this government.
patrons at Team Jamaica Bickles Independence Gala 2026 in Philadelphia. Mr. Golden argued that Jamaica is facing growing external pressure from the United States, saying the country is being forced to comply with U.S. foreign policy decisions. He said Jamaica is operating in an increasingly complex global environment.
What is being done to us is not friendship. Imposing arbitrary tariffs on us when we are struggling to make our goods competitive in a difficult market is not friendship. Dictating to us who we must do business with is not friendship. Forcing us to accept foreign deportees when we are struggling to look after our own people, that is not friendship.
Mr. Golden argued that Jamaica is being encouraged to reduce its ties with countries like China and Cuba, noting China has invested more than US $2.1 billion in Jamaica, while US investment is only a fraction of that. But despite this, he claimed Jamaica is under pressure to push Chinese interests out of the country.
China has become a major investment partner in Jamaica. It has invested in major highways that have significantly improved our transportation and logistics.
He noted the country has faced pressure over its long-standing Cuba, including the presence of Cuban healthcare professionals in Jamaica.
We have been ordered to send home the Cuban doctors and nurses who have played such a big part in keeping our health services going. We are being forced to contribute to the strangulation of the Cuban people who have helped us in so many ways.
In the meantime, Mr. Golden raised concerns about the U.S. immigration policy, referencing requests for countries in the region to accept third country deportees.
We are required to accept up to 10,000 third country deportees. We are told they will come at a rate of 25 every 2 weeks.
Andrew Bruce has always been that one when afraid to speak his mind on the international stages. However, my argument has always been, without the situation of Dodos, that with others that befalls Bruce Golden, maybe he would have been, if not the best, a better Jamaica Prime Minister, a better JLP Prime Minister than all the other past and present. But bear in mind, Bruce is speaking as a former Prime Minister. Could it be that Bruce is speaking on behalf of Andrew, who would probably want to disagree with some of what he's been backed into corner with, but is unable to voice his disagreement because of his fear or what he is being tied to? But for whatever it is, this whole TCN issue, this whole Donald Trump reassertion of the Monroe Doctrine in the region, Andrew Holness really haven't got the backbone, or as he told us, he's not a Michael Manley. He's not going to ruffle any feathers, Donna Thompson. How you do? He's not a Michael Manley. And he's not going to rustle any feathers. maybe Prime Minister Bruce Golding would have negotiated before signing such a deal, even if they have to sign it. These are the reasons why the world must break away from America, because it cannot be partnership when it's on America's direction only. When it is do what America says. When America lends you its money, America dictate policies to you. It's not so with China. And by the way, even though the Americans them are run up their mouth, the Chinese have more money to invest in Jamaica than the Americans. The Americans owe a lot of debt to the Japanese and the Chinese. So all America gone, America is in no position to help us. Not in the way that China can. America, God's great country, has gone backwards when it comes to technology. They have got a depleting economy. Thank God for Donald Trump, who fucked things up. So we can't keep let the Americans hold us at ransom when the America can barely struggle them way out of a wet paper bag. China is the new kid on the block. The world must recognize that, and America must also recognize that. America had its time, mind you. America had the money, mind you. That money, America spent it killing women and children around the world. That money, the United States of A, spend those money in the military-industrial complex, destabilizing economy after economy for 2 centuries now. You cannot destabilize China, mind you. Look at what even Iran, a middle power, America. Look at what a middle power is doing to your economy and your military at the moment. It's time for the world to stick 2 fingers up at America and says, you have lost the race. I mean, sanctions does not work anymore. Iran survived and is giving them a beating. China survived. Russia is still strong. Cuba is still standing. What the fuck are we afraid of? Isn't that enough example to say that there are other partnerships? America no make not now get enough. Nobody now depend on America for not now get other than the noise. Other than the noise. Nobody now depend on America for not now get. So as to why these post-colonial countries decide to make America hold them to ransom, me don't know. Me don't know. Anyway, let's go to the Donald Tapia interview because if you think the relationship between the United States of A and Jamaica is rocky and upside down at the moment, Carrie Lake described herself as Donald Trump in high heels. I don't think that needs any further explanation. Maybe high heel junk and crack. You remember the pig in the lipstick, Sarah Palin? But let me tell you something.
The former Prime Minister was insisting on, though, is the deployment.
Self-front Carrie Lane. Let me tell you something. You remember Sarah Palin, the pig in lipstick? You remember the dye blonde? what's it, Reverend Green, Marjorie Taylor Green? Do you remember them? So you, the Donald Trump in high heels, you rapists, Carrie Lake, because anybody tell us that them are Donald Trump, they're rapists, they're pedophile, they're liars, and they're thieves. Because that's what Donald Trump is. Isn't it, my dear? Isn't it? Donald Trump is a rapist, a confessed rapist, a confessed sexual assaulter. He told us. The Epstein file showed us that Donald Trump is a rapist. Carrie Lake, the rapist in high heels.
The former Prime Minister was insisting on, though, is the diplomacy that is being practiced by the Trump administration is unlike what we have seen in previous times. It's unprecedented, where, as he said, they're literally, or symbolically, not literally, putting a gun to your head. And if you don't fall in line, you're punished. Yes, you're slapped with tariffs that will make your economy virtually in shambles. I think that is the point.
Well, Hugh, I cannot, in some ways, I agree with them from the standpoint of the tariffs that the present administration has put towards many countries, especially our friends, which is Canada and Mexico. I, as an individual, and as a person that looks at it from a global standpoint, I disagree with. But at the same time, I'm not in a position of power to change that. Here, Mexico is through the U.S. to the automotive industry is very strong in parts and so forth. Canada, the thing that bothers me about Canada is that we receive timber and so forth from there. It's a small country with a small population. It's a big country, but a small population. So my views does not. I can't disagree with some of the statements he's making. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I am not in the position or in the power to change that. And when the tariffs go on to other countries, it hurts your economy. The same as the U.S. economy. If you look at the U.S. economy, they say that it's booming. It's not booming from the standpoint of the average American person, because of the cost of goods, gasoline, housing.
Andrew Mack, have to stay with Gina, you know. Gina frightened over her visa. Gina don't want to get stopped at the airport in America. Gina not brave somebody who can criticize foreign government and not travel in their country. So you have to stay with Gina. Gina, like Andrew Holness, is protecting their visas, all right?
Food has gone up here in the U.S. So I just, when you're in a position where they try to tie you to a party, a Republican or a Democratic Party, or the PNP and the JLP, there's going to be disagreements, and people that are here are going to say things and do things that we would disagree with. I disagree with this. The first Trump administration is entirely different than the second Trump administration. We're seeing that. Do I agree with the president today and some of the things that he's doing? No.
For example,
if I was the ambassador to Jamaica from the U.S., I would have a problem there. You have an incoming ambassador that actually says I'm Donald Trump in high heels.
I'm Donald Trump in high heels, says Carrie Lake. So what that is saying to you, the racism will turn up when Carrie Lake is appointed. the offensive, the diplomatic offenses against China and Cuba will step up. We will, says Carrie Lake, be tightening the noose around the neck of Jamaica. That is all it means. A Donald Trump in high heels. That's the only thing it can mean. We're going to tighten the noose around Jamaica's neck. We are going to show Andrew Holness and the Jamaica people who really is in charge. It is time to stuck two finger up at America. We cannot allow America to hold, stop, disrupt, or disturb development in our country. Because America don't have the money to help us. America do not have the technology to help us when it comes to developing the country. China is the new way to go. America itself cannot do without China. Why then America want black we out of the benefits? This big so-called leader of the free world, you're getting so much benefits from China. If Japan and China weren't buying up your debts and your bonds, you'd be fucked by now, like literally just like that. And you're stopping middle countries, middle power countries, and developing countries from benefiting from China's ascension to the world stage. How could you be so bad mind America? But then again, America, Labour, right? The Republican and Labour right are the same thing, though. Republic, Labour right, and conservatives, they're all the same thing. They're all the same things. No different between them. But then again, those who call themselves the social democrats, like the PNP and the Democrats in America, they are pretty much the same thing, aren't they? At least they're silence. Let's take the other part of Donald Toppy and Cliff Hughes.
Used a term that the incoming ambassador, if she makes it, if she is cleared and nominated, you described her as Trump in heels. What do you mean by
That's her
that?
words. I'm just quoting her words.
Oh, she said those words. Yes. And
Yes.
and
That's it. I'm quoting her.
and tell us, based on your knowledge, experience in Jamaica, and what we're now seeing from the second Trump administration, what will that mean for Jamaica?
Jamrock, you want to see when Andrew Mac over Gina, who have to comment cautious. You see, like over here, in no say, over here, so is a democratic forum. So people are allowed to speak their mind here. Though I may respond to them, I will not block them or so on and so forth. So them can speak unfettered over here. Whereas when them over Gina Enkles and other PNP platform, they have to comment to suit the narrative. Otherwise, them know all are black and go about your business.
I'm concerned.
Used a term that the incoming ambassador, if she makes it, if she is cleared and nominated, you described her as Trump in heels. What do you mean by
That's her
that?
words. I'm just quoting her words.
Oh, she said those words.
Come on, Andrew. No, so on a toe the line over Gina. The full flow disagreement one can type in a my comment. You can't do it over Gina. Sometimes you have to bite on your tongue and tap on a big toe and just listen, because you may want to listen to the plaka and the mix up. And if you say anything Gina may go black on us. So take on time when on around Gina a comment. Whereas here you all have your freedom to speak.
Used a term that the incoming ambassador, if she makes it, if she is cleared and nominated, you described her as Trump in heels. What do you mean by
That's her
that?
words. I'm just wait a minute. I'm just quoting her words.
Oh, she said those words. Yes. And
Yes.
and
That's it. I'm quoting her.
and tell us, based on your knowledge, experience in Jamaica, and what we're now seeing from the second Trump administration, what will that mean for Jamaica?
I'm concerned. I'm concerned that the relationship between the U.S. and Jamaica could be damaged. When the president, and this is something for another conversation, but when the president leverages all of the things against other countries, and you haven't even touched on China, but when you look at all the tariffs that he has leveraged against some of our good allies, Germany. Take a look at Germany. Take a look at Canada. Take a look at Mexico. They are key allies to the United States. These are key. So I have, and I speak personally, and I don't know how other Americans feel, but I feel that that when you turn your back on your friends, what type of person are you, and how strong are you going to build your administration? And there's problems in his administrations already.
So a Carrie Lake in Jamaica is going to damage further our relationship with the U.S. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that that Carrie Lake is. It's more like where do we send her? She's already lost 2 elections. She's already been pulled.
Donald Topia, Ladybug, he was the ambassador to Jamaica under the first coming of Donald Trump. He was the ambassador to Jamaica then. He was the one, he was putting down his foot back then with the Jamaica-China relationship. But as they're all political hypocrites, at least. But he was sort of up Donald Trump's ass then. Maybe not as far as those who are a part of Donald Trump's second coming has to go up his ass to have grace. But certainly Donald Topia, former ambassador to Jamaica under the first Trump coming, he was up Donald Trump's ass as well, because one knows that you really doesn't get onto Donald Trump's team unless a part of your head is up Donald Trump.
Pulled back from Voice of America. She's already been pulled back from there. Now she's in a nomination to be an ambassador, a person that speaks for the United States to Jamaica. I'll let the people of Jamaica, I'll let the people that hear this interview form their own opinion of that. I know what my opinion is.
Yes. Ambassador Donald.
And I think I voiced it, I think I voiced it very strongly.
Very strongly. Very strongly. Frankly, in a stunning manner.
If you remember, Donald Topia was highly in the first coming of Donald Trump. Marcia, how you do? Alexandra. He was highly against the increase in China investment in our country, because that was Donald Trump's argument. So his ambassador would have to sing that tune as well. It was under Donald Trump's tenure when them, I did under that or under something there, under for Biden one, when they make Andrew Holness take off his belt and shoes at the airport. You remember that embarrassing scenario when they were just it was a clerical error. It was a clerical error. said Marlon and Apka. Not an embarrassment. But I'm not even too listening to a word that Donald Tapia says, because he may be speaking in a way now because he's not a part of the Trump regime anymore. But when Donald Tapia was ambassador to Jamaica, he was quite pushing Donald Trump anti-China policy. And an anti-China policy is an anti-development policy. America cannot continue to strangulate countries through loans from the World Bank and the IMF while the countries see no meaningful development. Whereas with China, whatever way you want to look at it, we're having meaningful infrastructure development. Though, because of corruption from our political class, it's not going fast as it should be. And us Jamaicans are not benefiting as much as we should or could have. But America have nothing to offer we other than rules, other than orders. America don't have nothing to offer we. When America did have to offer we, America never did give. America have to go find money now for build back a whole lot of defensive mechanism where Iran mash up. America don't have money. As much as you say America walk on thief aisle, America economy is in big problem. The worse this war gets in the Middle East, the longer the war in the Middle East staggers on, America will come out of it economically more worse than anybody else. I mean, they have a huge military embarrassment already. The noise of America is not what runs a country. The noise of America, it's not what runs a country. We need our country back, Jamaicans. Because while we are here rooting for JLP and PNP, while we are vexing with ourselves and each other for JLP and PNP, every day they show us that we only play a game with you when we want your vote to get to power. Once we get there, we're all friends. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter the continued tribalism by the PNP flock and the JLP flock. Us up here in position of authority and power, we're all friends. Uno could have cussed, uno could have war, uno could have carry on, uno could have divided, but we are all friends. When will the people of Jamaica see? We care about politicians, but politicians don't care about we. Because since 1956 and that colonial act, the beach right or whatever it's been called, neither Shearer, Manleys, Buster, Sangster, Golden, Holness, Simpson, Patterson, nobody take in consideration the Jamaica people when it comes to right to our beaches. No PNP, no JLP. In fact, both PNP and JLP gave away more of our beaches to foreigners. More of our beaches to foreigners. But we still sit down happily blaming one or the other when both of them are playing us. When we are going to see it? when we are going to wake up and start act within our and our country's interests, within the interests of our children's and grandchildren's future. Well, no, sister, we're crazy. No, talk it truth. May I ask if nobody knows, sister, we're well-dressed mad people. I mean, you'll find other countries in the world where stand up for something, you know. Jamaica is the biggest set of well-dressed mad people roaming around on this planet. And it's because of that madness also why we get so much attention. Because look at them on TikTok. I don't think that's a sane behavior. I mean, all of us have our behavior on YouTube, on social media. But have you seen Jamaicans' behavior over TikTok? I mean, what if we use those influences? What if we use those influences that we have on social media to advocate for something good? Neither PNP or Labour has not protected our rights to access our beaches. In fact, they gave away more. They surrendered more to the slave master than, and as we speak, that is happening even in St. Thomas. It is happening in St. Anne's. And I'm sure it's the very same thing they want for from Black River to parity, because we have unfettered access to those beaches. That's about a 7-mile stretch of free beach left in Jamaica. And we heard Edmund Bartlett say they're going to turn it touristic. We know when things become touristic, the Jamaican people get cut out. When is it that the Jamaica people are going to wake up and say, this is only about us? And if it is about us, we have to stand up and protect ourselves. No, there's an issue in St. Anne's, but there when I see one video with some access to beach galanging. It's not just St. Thomas where Michelle Charles, a black people have a beach. There was a video circulating where one issue, one beach access issue down at St. Anne's as well. Our government is our problem. Not only our government, though, our mindset, tribalism, the aiding and abetting of corruption. Because this is my problem with Jamaica people and Andrew Holness. This is my problem with Jamaica people and political corruption. Do you know that as a populace, we aid and abetted and facilitates corruption? For the fact that we only call it out on the other side and not call it out on our side, that's a big problem. Or silence to it when our favorites are doing it is a big problem. Us continue to put back corrupt politicians, failed politicians in power. Failed politicians in power. And Jamaica knows so we Jamaican call things a certain way. You're going to have to accept it so. Is it not St. Anne's with an apostrophe? And also if you pronounce ownership. We are aiders and abaters of corruption. We are facilitators of corruption. because we continue to give power to corrupt politicians. We continue to protect corrupt politicians. We continue to defend corrupt politicians. Once they are our favorite, we protect them. We go all out for them. So sometimes I find it weird when we blame Andrew Holness and not look into ourselves as a nation, how we as a people have created an Andrew Holness. Remember, he's an independent baby. Remember, Andrew Holness is an independent baby. Jamaica corrupt system created what we have at the moment. He may be the super of the corruption that we have always endured. But don't forget that it's the Jamaica system that creates an Andrew Holness. And the Jamaica system will create more Andrew Holness, whether it be on the PNP side or on the JLP side. Because you know what? There is a flock of us out here who will defend them when there's no need to defend or there's nothing to defend. So we, the people of Jamaica, created our monster. The monster that Andrew Holness has become and is metastasizing into were created by the Jamaican society. Unless we deal with internal problem and internal flaws, they're going to continue to exist and grow out of proportion. Andrew Holness is one of those that existed and grow out of proportion. So if we don't want worse than Andrew, then we must curb Andrew Holness. We can't do it as PNP or we can't do it as JLP. We have to do it as Jamaicans.
The Jamaican people are legends, but the Jamaican government is full of rats. Let me explain to you 5 ways in which the Jamaican government has disrespected its own people. The first point is a quick point, and I made a video on it yesterday. It's that they don't have access to the beaches. Literally 1% of Jamaica's beaches are accessible to the average Jamaican person. The rest are owned by private places and private resorts, hotels, this type of thing. And it literally means Jamaicans have less than 1% of the entire coastal landscape to go and enjoy their time on. It's literally their country. The second thing is limitations to land ownership in general residencies. The government literally gave them nothing after the abolition of slavery in the 1800s. So slavery ended, but large amounts of this land, large amounts of these property were just given back to the slave owners and bought by them. This made it...
And look at the Sugar Company of Jamaica. All of these lands that Sugar Company of Jamaica is holding, lands that Sugar Company of Jamaica bulldoze people off, lands that Andrew Holness refused to put back Westmoreland people on because they're for Sugar Company of Jamaica, like it's a private company. It's the Jamaican government that own these lands. But land where the Jamaican government not feel safe, we the people are worthy of or is entitled to.
Extremely hard for black independent farmers to make it in Jamaica at the time, and it shifted the industries many black people had to work in. 3 is the quality of education. Whilst education is very prevalent in Jamaica, the quality is declining massively. Educational resources and the funding behind them is decreasing, and guess who's to blame? The government, like in most countries. Essentially, the classism is insane, and if you are a certain socio-economic status, you're going to stay that way for the rest of your life in 99.9% of...
When a government decides to go back 40, 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, or even 10 years to blame the previous government, you know this government comes without any intention to do anything. And Andrew Holness for the past 10 years have been getting away with every blunder where he has the opportunity to fix. He only goes out blaming other leaders. But you promised us, didn't you? If we chose you, you would fix these things and we would see prosperity. So why then, after 10 years, it's not after 5 years, or after a year, after 10 years, why then should Andrew Holness be blaming another former prime minister?
Of cases, which is extremely unfortunate and doesn't give young people much hope. The fourth point is the corruption with the police force, one of the most corrupt police forces in the Caribbean, if not the most corrupt police force. Literally a policing system that doesn't have any policies, any real rules. It's about what the police want to do when they want to do it, and they are massively underpaid. And underpaid police officers leads to one thing: corruption and bribery. Certain areas in Kingston, more so than Montego Bay, but still in Montego Bay, can be extremely dangerous. And I actually spoke to an aid worker on the plane to Jamaica who was telling me about some of the monstrosities he has seen in the darker parts of the cities where things can happen at night. And the fifth and final thing is the lack of funding into healthcare. The Jamaican healthcare system isn't the worst in the world after all. There is a slightly better system than the USA, but how can you get worse than the USA's healthcare system? It's massively underfunded again. And with the Jamaican government, when they get all this money from tourism, you do wonder where that money's going, and it is quite troubling. A terrible police system, a lack of opportunity, a lack of education, a lack of healthcare, a literal lack of access to residencies and beaches and local areas. Come on, guys, this is terrible. The Jamaican people are such legends, and I don't understand how they can maintain this positive, incredible attitude, even to tourists, when the government are disrespecting them and making their lives extremely hard. So I have to say, credit to you, Jamaican people, for being so positive, but your government is massively flawed.
Bear with globalists.
Black people, the black Jamaican citizens, who are the rightful heirs to this land. Us, the descendants of the enslaved, which are being marginalized, and that man has had enough, and kudos to him, and we should take his lead. It's time to rise up. I mean, she presents this economic nonsense of land, where it's just land dispossession and people being marginalized and displaced. And she presents it as some transcendental truth. And when you look at this woman's face, Michelle Charles, she revels in the unjust punishment that she and her father are inflicting onto the people of Old Pera in St. Thomas. How to come by so much land, these hundreds of acres of land. You see these people, Colonel Charles and his family that are taking the land from these people, they're like the slave trade intermediaries that history teaches us about. These are the people that felt they were better than the rest of us. They felt that they were more worthy than us and more deserving. So they ultimately feel like they're entitled to more, and they will suffer anybody who they need to continue to gain wealth. However,
when I hear
that wealth gain is, there are black skins in white masks, people so depraved that they with unabashed corruption perform as the inheritors of these colonial spoils, even though they're black like us. Right? They're thieves of the land, the beaches, the very soil and air that belong to the people of St. Thomas and Jamaica. You look at her, modeling that vampire energy and wearing that mean outfit, straight out of Mortal Kombat. I mean, she equipped with the same cannibalistic predilections of just eating the people of St. Thomas and eating and feeding off the people of Jamaica. It is as though her outfit is a running metaphor for actual condition. This positively so depraved and void of any conscience and empathy. There's this absence of humanity in her disposition, in her eyes, and she has no respect for the people of St. Thomas. I mean, isn't the land of the land of Paul Vogel and the land of George William Gordon? When Michelle Charles lost the election, she left and said she was going back home. Right? So what are the people of Old Para? Are they tenants? Are they squatters? These people that belong on the land? St. Thomas, I think we rise up. We need to take a stand now. We need to make Michelle Charles and Colonel Charles know say we're serious and we the people have the rightful claim to the land. No more land dispossession, no more taking away the land and claiming that you're developing people and everybody is left broke and they are left rich and well connected.
Globalists, I'm going to work on this to get it in studio for you. But in the meantime, we will look at quite a depressing situation in St. Elizabeth. The killing and the dumping of a woman's body. When will Jamaican women rise up against the barbaric behavior that is perpetrated against women and girls in our country? We saw what happened the other day when Shani Coke was raped and murdered. A woman in
news. Special welcome to folks on onesmartmedia.com and those of you watching on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
First up this evening, a missing woman.
A woman has been murdered in St. Elizabeth, presumably by her partner, who it seems as if there were domestic violence issues, which has spilled over into the killing of a woman.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to folks on onespotmedia.com and those of you watching on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
First up this evening, a missing woman, a beaten partner on the police guard at hospital, and a body found in a nearby river.
It's the making of a true crime novel, but it's a shocking reality that residents of the St. Elizabeth community in Lacovia are trying to come to terms with this evening.
In what seems like another domestic violence gone bad, residents say the accused actually confessed to the killing and dumping his partner's body in the Black River before police rescued him from an angry mob.
Krista Campbell has our story.
As I can't believe. Right now, I can't believe.
Something evil has happened in the Barton Wharf community of Lacovia, St. Elizabeth, or so residents say they were told by the man accused of committing the evil act. That man has been under police guard at hospital since angry residents attacked him after he reportedly told them he had killed his partner, 50-year-old farmer Nicole Brown, better known as Nikki.
We don't have a clue. We want to find out what time put her. Because me I say if you came from so far and come and say you want to pass the river, if you go hide him nowhere else. So we feel like saying I want to shoot him.
But residents say the accused told them he had killed Nikki and dumped her by the boats in the river near the community. They cornered him and questioned him late Monday night after they did not see Nikki in the community from Monday morning. Police say she was last seen at 10 o'clock Sunday night at her family home where she lived with her 41-year-old partner.
Monday, them I look for him. Monday morning, all them I call the phone I ring out, nothing. But them should make him and left and pack up clothes, he left out of the house. If you go nowhere. From them I call the phone, him phone and the daughter phone, and them I ring out and not get none, then should have hold him there so far and there so. Because when we tell the police, say, care man come make him control where body there. He not do it. Then say to man lick him and mash him up there if he came to hospital.
Since then, residents say they've been combing the river and its surroundings.
We don't sleep for all the hours and night we over here hunt. 12 o'clock last night to 1 o'clock where people up on the river side there.
I'm just here back.
And we in the bush them over here. So over there so we are going to this morning again. Go circle the whole place, Papa. But we have to find the body.
By Tuesday afternoon, a lone diver continued the search. Police arriving sometime later amidst fears crocodiles might get to the body first.
It is frightened me because we just panic. By late afternoon,
The river surrendered her secret.
If anybody down on the water and then do that circle, I can't go right to the spot and say, see me.
Diver Kevin Vassell says only the lower half of the body was clothed. A team from the Jamaica Defense Force took control of the operation and retrieved the body. As residents try to come to terms with the tragedy, they insist Nikki was a quiet woman and do not know what could have caused the relationship to end this way.
Sunday, we go fishing. And when we up there so fishing, we see him come up there. He all show to we. And when he show to we, he say, I go look two fish too. We say, yeah man, fishing, we are fishing, say, we are look fish. We never come down till it had us up. And when we come right here, so, and Malcolm, little son, we see the boat there, and him come take we cross. Carry over. When we come over here, so Dudley said to me Rasta Virgin, say, don't sink the boat, don't sink the peg too far deep. Because he have been here where we don't know about.
I last time I see her out by the school where she worked. That was the last time I see her. Because she's not a person who loves gold. She's from her home to her school, or sometimes she can stand there. She don't go without her sister there. She's not the type of girl go she don't got nobody play. She's a nice cousin to us. And she's a loving cousin. She was us so I know they take her life.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Now, we're going to go back to St. Thomas and the land issue in St. Thomas. Quite an ironic issue. And this is why you see, I cannot support reparatory justice. Because if it is that we're calling on white people, these same white people who we are holding lands from the descendant of the slave on behalf of the white British monarch. If it is that we are holding lands on behalf of the white British monarch, depriving Jamaicans of the mule and 40 acres, 60 years of independence, 100 and odd years of freedom, or so whatever it is, and we are still landless. And our government want us to get on board with them to fight for reparations. Reparations would have started amongst ourselves, like repealing the Beach Act, land reform and land distribution. Then I might take you all serious. But for all I care, you all corrupt African and Caribbean leaders only look for money, for pat up on a pocket or on a bank account. We not going to benefit nothing out there, Christopher, how you do? Wonderfully made. We, the people of Jamaica, not going to benefit anything out there. Let reparations start with land distribution. Let reparations start with repealing the Beach Act. But while we involve in human trafficking with Donald Trump, while we involve in human trafficking, while we involve in the land holdings, while we continue to sell off beaches in our country to the same slave master children. What a hypocrisy. What a hypocrisy for us to be asking for reparations.
Back to Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land. That's madness. You have taken enough, so no one take this. We will fight to the bitter end to defend this from the people. You and your father need to go back to Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land.
That's a frustrated resident.
And that's the right energy. That's somebody who has had enough. They have seen what's been happening in the country for years and years, and it's just Jamaican people, black people, the black Jamaican citizens who are the rightful heirs to this land. Us, the descendants of the enslaved, which are being marginalized, and that man has had enough, and kudos to him, and we should take his lead. It's time to rise up. I mean, she presents this economic nonsense of land, where it's just land dispossession and people being marginalized and displaced. And she presents it as some transcendental truth. And when you look at this woman's face, Michelle Charles, she revels in the unjust punishment that she and her father are inflicting onto the people of Old Pera in St. Thomas. How they come by so much land, these hundreds of acres of land. You see, these people, Colonel Charles and his family that are taking the land from these people, they're like the slave trade intermediaries that history teaches us about. These are the people that felt they were better than the rest of us. They felt that they were more worthy than us and more deserving. So they ultimately feel like they're entitled to more, and they will suffer anybody who they need to continue to gain wealth, however unjust that wealth gain is. There are black skins in white masks, people so depraved that they with unabashed corruption perform as the inheritors of these colonial spoils, even though they're black like us, right? They're thieves of the land, the beaches, the very soil and the air that belong to the people of St. Thomas and Jamaica. I mean, look at her, modeling that vampire energy and wearing that Melina outfit straight out of Mortal Kombat. I mean, she equipped with the same cannibalistic predilections as just eating the people of St. Thomas and eating and feeding off the people of Jamaica. It is as though our outfit is a running metaphor for our actual condition. This positively so depraved and void of any conscience and empathy. There's this absence of humanity in her disposition and in her eyes, and she has no respect for the people of St. Thomas. I mean, isn't the land of Paul, this the land of Paul Bogle and the land of George William Gordon? When Michelle Charles lost the election, she left and said she was going back home. Right? So what are the people of Old Pera? Are they tenants? Are they squatters? These people that belong on the land? St. Thomas, a time for a rise up. We need to take a stand now. We need to make Michelle Charles and Colonel Charles know say we're serious, and we the people have the rightful claim to the land. No more land dispossession, no more taking away the land and claiming that you're developing people and everybody is left broke and they are left rich and well connected.
That's why I may not agree with reparations. This is why reparations. Let us clean house first. Let us start at home. We can repeal the Beach Act. We can distribute these lands owned by Sugar Corporation of Jamaica. All of the lands where you know in your community, where one white man picking here, some ancient white family was raising cows and or just have them wire up, and they're called in a few community, it's called Briam land. There's so much lands in Jamaica just left there after this, after that. People who dead long time ago. If we don't get it right, we can't call upon other people to do it right. Britain are colonizers and slave masters. Why you think them are going to come in and do anything good for we? It's our job. If we say we are a sovereign country, well, we are waiting pan for share up Elizabeth's stolen land. Like talking truth, well, we are waiting pan for share up Prince Charles' stolen land, because Prince Charles don't own it, you know. Prince Charles thief it and lay claim to it. No, sir? So now that we say we are an independent country, we're a sovereign nation, Let us show the world what independence and sovereignty means. Let us have proper land reform. Let's give land to the landless. Let's allow our people to go to the beach so the ocean and the salt can remove the negative energy and the burden from some of us. Because, my God, we are burdened. So now stop talking nonsense. Stop talking about emancipation. Stop talking about independence. Stop talking about reparations. They're all fuckeries. They are a bunch of word salads. Because until it is that we start to act upon these things with meaningful results being produced from our actions, then we can just literally fuck off and go to hell in a handcart. Is it not? Anyway, my peeps. Christopher, careful of the resilient word, because this word is banded around so much. You remember the council from Old Harbor call it resilient. I prefer the resilient word to the resilient word, because I don't know what resilient means in our country. If it is that we're resilient sufferers, resilient fool, one might argue, resilient tribalists, then it might mean something. But I regularly hear both the government and the opposition speaking in that tone. Globalists.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, the only.
Thank you very much for holding on, and welcome back. Now, as I was saying, if it is that we are not prepared to do it for ourselves, one, and prepared to do it at home, it makes no sense us looking towards those who are the initial problem creators to solve the problem. Why do you think Britain or America would want to solve the problem that they create for us? Problems which they benefit out of. Problems, literally, which created the British economy that we all chase after, though depleting, one might argue. The issue of reparations, we have to first clean houses at home before we can then call upon Britain or the other European countries or even the Americas to pay debt of gratitude to us and pay us for the crimes and the damages that they have done to us. So we are fooling ourselves, Jamaica. We are going about it the very wrong way around. What we need to do, we first need to repeal the Beach Act in Jamaica, which prevents us from accessing our beaches. We also need meaningful land reform in our country to make sure that Jamaicans benefits. At the moment, the only thing we're benefiting from is word salad. Word Silent.
To Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land. That's madness. You have taken enough, so no one take this. We will fight to the bitter end to defend this from the people. You and your father need to go back to Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land.
That's a frustrated resident. And that's the right energy. That's somebody who has had enough. They have seen what's been happening in the country for years and years. And it's just Jamaican people, black people, the black Jamaican citizens who are the rightful heirs to this land. Us, the descendants of the enslaved, which are being marginalized. And that man has had enough. And kudos to him. And we should take his lead. It's time to rise up. I mean, she presents this economic nonsense of land, where it's just land dispossession and people being marginalized and displaced. And she presents it as some transcendental truth. And when you look at this woman's face, Michelle Charles, she revels in the unjust punishment that she and her father.
Christopher, I don't really think it's lack of knowledge with Jamaicans, you know. It's more of a priority issue. There's enough information to wake Jamaicans up in this social media instantaneous communication era. There's enough information out there to wake us up. It's what we prioritize as a people. The people of Jamaica prioritize lies and mix up. It is the type of content that would sell better on social media when you do literally fuckery, like Rosalie and all those people. The only way Andre Stevens get to sell his information is because him sell it in a mix-up and bagger propagandist way, which people loves and people gravitate to. The issue is not lack of knowledge. The issue is priority. Priority is a problem. We prioritize the wrong things. Look over TikTok. Go over there with good information and see when you talk some good word, how TikTok block you. How TikTok belittle and berate you for imparting good information. Go over there with the fuckery. It's what Jamaica people gravitate to. When you're giving good information, you are boring. I mean, the young people of Africa is utilizing information on social media. At Jamaica, young people alone utilize social media for mix up. It's more of a priority problem. What are our priorities? Is it knowledge or is it mix up? The era when we couldn't blame the lack of education. Whole heap of we out here now on social media are open up people's eyes. But that's not what people want to hear about. People want to hear us play political tribally. People want to hear us advance, mix up, and bagger. Because what people are looking for, Christopher, is not knowledge. They're looking for entertainment. They're looking for their egos to be caressed. That is the problem. It's not lack of knowledge, not in this era. And a lack of knowledge, not in this era. Yeah. It's a prioritization problem. We prioritize mix up. We prioritize so and bagger. We love the wire fence galang in. And if you notice, this is why I don't broadcast over TikTok. Because I'm not into the wire fence-ism behavior. And TikTok, you have to go on like a wire fence, you turn up and gibbet your neighbor. When you come to growing pan TikTok, you have to go on like say a wire side you're there. I gibbet your neighbor. I mean, I have no time to go gibbet my neighbor. So I'm going to survive in that environment. So we have to, this is the time, if we're going to move ahead, my people, Jamaicans, fellow Black people, we have to do self-introspection. We have to do house clearing. We have to do internal work. You know why not no work for Gina Henkels? It's because you're full. Your cup of clean water when a lot of dirt settle in your cup. You got to clean the cup first, mate. Then you apply the clean water. That's the problem what Jamaica have. We continue to throw clean things per mess. Love the, yes, Jamaica people love the bagger. And this is why people like Gina can hold them, because Gina mastered the art of presenting a very good story in a bagger way, just to capture your attention. Because if him tell it in an academic way, you might not want to hear. You might think he's boring. And as the politician, Gina know how to play within the mindset and does. Same thing Andrew Holness does. Andrew Holness is not as dunce as Andrew Holness comes across. Certainly not. If you listen to Andrew Holness when he's speaking to the international audience, it's a different Andrew Holness. As compared to when Andrew Holness speaks to us, mean of prayer that nobody. May we go with a toe to toe. Yeah. They master what our mindset gravitate to. You notice when Andrew Holness appeal to us, he gets very bagger. Oh, yes, he does. Because that's the way to get into the mindset. Me no want coming on the mindset. Me want lick on out of that blood clot mindset. Me want beat on out of it. Not coming into it, we don't know. Wake up. Wake up and smell the brewing coffee.
Back to Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land. That's madness. You have taken enough, so no one take this. We will fight to the bitter end to defend this from the people. You and your father need to go back to Central and leave in Eastern Central. You have taken enough land.
That's a frustrated resident. And that's the right energy. That's somebody who has had enough. They have seen what's been happening in the country for years and years. And it's just Jamaican people, Black people, the Black Jamaican citizens who are the rightful heirs to this land. Us, the descendants of the enslaved, which are being marginalized. And that man has had enough. And kudos to him. And we should take his lead. It's time to rise up. I mean, she presents this economic nonsense of land, where it's just land dispossession and people being marginalized and displaced. And she presents it as some transcendental truth. And when you look at this woman's face, Michelle Charles, she revels in the unjust punishment that she and her father are inflicting onto the people of Old Pera in St. Thomas. How they come by so much land, these hundreds of acres of land. You see these people, Perennial Charles and his family that are taking the land from these people, they're like the slave trade intermediaries that history teaches us about. These are the people that felt they were better than the rest of us. They felt that they were more worthy than us and more deserving. So they ultimately feel like they're entitled to more, and they will suffer anybody who they need to continue to gain wealth, however unjust that wealth gain is. There are black skins in white masks, a people so depraved that they with unabashed corruption perform as the inheritors of these colonial spoils, even though they're black like us, right? They're thieves of the land, the beaches, the very soil and the air that belong to the people of St. Thomas and Jamaica. I mean, look at her, modeling that vampire energy and wearing that Nina outfit straight out of Mortal Kombat. I mean, she equipped with the same cannibalistic predilections as just eating the people of St. Thomas and eating and feeding off the people of Jamaica. It's as though her outfit is a running metaphor for her actual condition. This positively so depraved and void of any conscience and empathy. There's this absence of humanity in her disposition and in her eyes, and she has no respect for the people of St. Thomas. I mean, isn't the land of the land of Paul Bogle and the land of George William Gordon? When Michelle Charles lost the election, she left and said she was going back home. Right? So what are the people of Old Para? Are they tenants? Are they squatters? These people that belong on the land? St. Thomas, a time for a rise up. We need to take a stand now. We need to make Michelle Charles and Pernell Charles know say we're serious and we the people have the rightful claim to the land. No more land dispossession, no more taking away the land and claiming that you're developing people and everybody is left broke and they are left rich and well connected.
Bear with us, please.
Forward, because constitutional reform requires both sides. Meeting still has not happened. The government cannot refuse to meet and then blame the opposition for the delay. We also believe that you cannot enter one relationship with the British Crown by removing the monarch whilst keeping the Privy Council as our final court of appeal. The Privy Council is out of reach for most Jamaicans. True independence requires a Jamaican head of state and the Caribbean Court of Justice as our final court. There are other issues too, how we choose a president, term limits, fixed election dates, and a stronger parliament. Jamaica deserves reform that brings us together, not political finger pointing. Mr. Prime Minister, accept the invitation to meet. Let's sit down and let's finish the job of full decolonization together. Visit our website.
Simone Beckford, which video you sent me to play? Just put out a statement which I want to crop and bring it into studio on the constitutional issue, because you know the government regularly lies about who is to be blamed for the breakdown of the constitutional reform. Which video is if you play Simone Beckford? Andrew Holness' government regularly lies about the breakdown of the constitutional review, which is not quite true. It's Andrew Holness who refuses to have that veil royal with Mark Golden. He cannot expect Mark Golden to meet with Delroy Chuck. They're not equals. It's the prime minister that is equal to the opposition leader. Jess is equal to Delroy Chuck in the political scheme of things. So the prime minister and the government side, the JLP side, is disingenuous, lie or untrue to make it look like the stalling of the constitutional review had anything to do with the PNP. The issue where Mark Golden wanted to be a part of the review, Andrew Holness to take permanent part in the review, like the Maroons, the Rastafarian issue, the Supreme Court, because it was quite a few issues. It wasn't just which is our final court only that Mark Golden held out on. It was Andrew Holness that refused to negotiate with Mark Golden to date on those issues. Isn't it, Prime Minister? But as this government is about propaganda. So let us pull up Jess's video and let you hear what Jess had to say on this matter before we go this morning. How are we out here do so long? Can anybody tell what we're doing out here so long? It's after 2 now in the United Kingdom. And we're here for 2 hours, mind you. Come on, video, come on. What you taking so long to load up? You're not even a long video, so you should just get on with it. So we listen to what Jess has to say on the issue. But the truth be told, Andrew Holness is the problem when it comes to the constitutional review. But as usual, this government lies about everything. This government owns up to nothing. And this government think that they can continue and lie and mix up. Just lie and mix up every day.
From the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Salika Jess, opposition spokesperson on justice. I want to address the claim that the opposition is delaying Jamaica's move to become a republic. That is simply not true. Our position has been clear from the start. We support Jamaica becoming a republic, but this generation has a responsibility to finish the full work of decolonization. Opposition leader Mark Golding wrote to Prime Minister Holness asking to meet to discuss a bipartisan path forward because constitutional reform requires both sides. That meeting still has not happened. The government cannot refuse to meet and then blame the opposition for the delay. We also believe that you cannot end one relationship with the British Crown by removing the monarch whilst keeping the Privy Council as our final court of appeal. The Privy Council is out of reach for most Jamaicans. True independence requires a Jamaican head of state and the Caribbean Court of Justice as our final court. There are other issues too, how we choose a president, term limits, fixed election dates, and a stronger parliament. Jamaica deserves reform that brings us together, not political finger-pointing. Mr. Prime Minister, accept the invitation to meet. Let's sit down and let's finish the job of full decolonization together.
We're calling on Andrew Holness to have a Vale Royal discussion with Mark Golding and the People's National Party in advancing our constitutional reform. We're calling for that. At least the nation deserves that. Let the talk break down, but let it not be said that you refuse to have it, which you have been doing since last year. Remember, that was what you created the birtherism out of when you started attacking Mark Golding, birth paper, passport, and citizenship. Anyway, my peeps, thank you all for being here this morning. Lovely to have your support as usual. And please make sure you share the live to your family and friends. The one them when I love mix up, because the one them will love mix up now, go listen to it. So, question when we're not invited to this, why the people don't in the meeting? Well, Mark Golding and Jess would be representing for us, while Andrew Holness and Delroy Chuck would be representing for Prince Charles. But Mark Golding and Jess will be representing for the people of Jamaica in that sit down should Andrew Holness decide to call it. Anyway, my peeps, thank you very much for being here with us this morning. Lovely to have your support. As always, please do join us back this evening for your People's Point of View program. Thank you very much. No win on us, so it go. The people have to say in politician to make our rules. You see, if it is you're talking about the Constitution, Christopher, the Constitution you're thinking of, those Constitution comes after a revolution, like the French Revolution, the American Civil War, those type of Constitution where the people have that level of say in. But remember, we don't have a Constitution, even though it's been portrayed as a Constitution in the document. What it really is, it's an administrative document for the protectorate of the colony of Jamaica, created and written by the United States Commonwealth, the United Kingdom Commonwealth and Foreign Office, and then Jamaicans signed on to it. What would it be for us is all those town halls and public meetings, if they were done properly, that's when our say in how we want to be governed and how we want our country to be run, that's where our input comes in. Those consultations, I don't think were adequate enough or give people enough time. But the consultations and the town halls is where people view of it, or people input, the Jamaican people input into a new constitution would make sense. But them start way off backwards already, master. Anyway, my peeps, thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from the Global TV Group.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just try and I say watch your man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Save all people. And we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch your man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari. War and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love all. And we love Jah. Jah Jah. Me love Jah Jah. Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah Jah. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink. Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the didn't can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
I been away, wagwan.
If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the front. Give a show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man, throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action.
So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.